Okay, so hello all. My name is Neil. I am the creator of Feyart, an indie TTRPG set in an alternate 19th century Earth where all the creatures in folklore and fairy tale are real, have always been real, and lived alongside humanity. Our game is set in an alternate 19th century France. The year is 1872. We are getting towards the end of February, I believe, and it is an alternate France in which about 7 or 8 months ago the Franco Prussian War occurred. However, this Franco Prussian War, unlike our own, was not one in which Bismarck's Prussia was fighting Napoleon II's France, but rather a Franco Prussian War in which the King of Arcadia, the elven king of the Fey nation that's kind of nestled between France and Germany, making up the Alsace region of France, the Black Forest region of Germany, half of Switzerland and the Austrian Alps. The king had died. He had been ruler of that land for over 700 years, and his son took the throne. Bismarck, seeing that this most powerful ruler in Europe for over half a millennia was now dead and being replaced, thought this might be a moment of weakness for the Fae, especially against modern human firearms, rifles, and artillery. So they attacked. It was a long and bloody, devastating war. In the earliest battles, the Fae were taking casualties they'd never taken against humans before, but they adapted to the humans' new weapons. And on the last day of the battle in May of 1971, the Fae unleashed a devastating attack in which thousands of soldiers, French and Prussian, were killed. Some say they were using secret Fey magics that had never been used before, while others, some of the soldiers who did survive, still are swearing that on that day they saw dragons. Many don't believe this, however, because nobody has seen a dragon in Europe in nearly 5 centuries. Our party of adventurers have been very busy. They've spent the last few months in the town of Cherville in the Auvergne region of the centre of France, where there's been a lot of Fey human tension, shall we say, and they've been dealing with that. But they most recently have travelled up to Cambrai, where the party's fighter Mina has been looking for her brother. So if anybody wants to give me a recap of last session, I was keeping things kind of vague. Who would like to do so?
Travel and sex, that's all I'm saying.
That was pretty much it, yeah. Travel and sex.
Can I get my inspiration die now? Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, unless anybody wants to give us some more detail into the spice.
Yeah. Well,
I was going to say
traveling. That's all I'm gonna say.
I was going to say gay panic, sex toys, and mental trauma.
Yeah.
It was a really, really fun session. It really was. The party were introduced to a new NPC, Madame Josephine Gauthier, a stunningly beautiful woman who is an
blonde.
Yes.
Yeah, of course she's blonde, because everybody in fucking France is blonde. I swear to God, like.
Aminata basically think Hannah Waddingham. Okay? Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Gwyn was having a lot of gay panic. So a very
Sylvia basically shoved her at this woman. Sylvia shoved her at her. I'm like, go have fun. See you later.
Yes, that is true. Old enough to be Gwyn's mother. And Gwyn, I'm sure you can call her mommy if you want.
But
she fed you to the
is
sharks.
An artificer. I have been constantly saying, please somebody shag an artificer so we can get this nice, lovely, tasty discounts. Exactly.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to say.
Essentially, you want somebody to pay the booty tax.
Yeah.
As usual, I will take one for the team.
That's so gracious of you, Gwyn.
So noble. So noble.
Absolutely. It's very noble of you. Like, oh, what a sacrifice.
Always ready to take one for the team.
It's hard work, but someone's got to do it, you know?
Yes. So,
the best job in the world.
So anyway, but we did actually finish with the party arriving in Cambrai, having gone there because Gwyn had cast a spell a locate person spell, which had revealed Mina's brother, and it was. This is also important to note that this was the first time since Mina left Switzerland looking for her brother that she had confirmation he was alive. Because if he was dead, the spell would not have worked. So they traveled to Cambrai, where there is a military hospital in what was once a castle that guarded the kind of waterways into the city, but has been turned into a military hospital. The party had settled. Mina saying that she was going to just go for a little walk. We all know what happened. She went into the hospital hoping to get in. Happened to be a nurse there. She talked to her. The nurse was, I can show you somebody.
Very
I
kind,
don't know
like,
if
yes.
it is your brother or not. And we finished with Mina walking into a small cell-like patient room where she saw her brother sitting on a bed, staring with empty eyes out, missing most of his left arm from below the shoulder, incredibly gaunt. And when he turned in the direction of the noise from the doors being open and Mina having entered the room with the nurse, he looked right through her, not recognizing her at all. So that is where we return. The nurse turns to you and says, I'm so sorry, but is this your brother? Like so many soldiers on the day, there was no identification and much of his regiment was dead. And it just, he kind of looks a little like you. That's why I thought.
I just look over at her and I'm not able to talk, so I just look over at her and just give her a nod. Mm-hmm. And I say, like, can I stay with him?
Well, you could certainly stay with him for some time. I don't know how responsive you. Can you tell me what is his name? Because we don't know.
Alois.
Alois. And when you say the name yet again, there doesn't appear to be any recognition from your brother at all. He appears to be just gone. His mind doesn't appear to be there. It's just, you could certainly stay here for some time. I'm going to go and find Dr. Fournier, who I'm sure you'd want to talk to. But you can't stay for the entire night. It would not be safe. Sometimes some of our patients who have these traumas, they have fits that can be violent.
Has he got any of those?
He has on a few occasions had them. We've never been able to determine what triggers these fits. It seems like he's reliving a terrible moment. Probably, we assume the war. But it would not be safe to stay for more than an hour or so. I mean, despite your short stature, you look like a strong and capable woman. So I'm perfectly happy leaving you here while I go and find Dr. Fournier if you want. Maybe your brother will respond to you. I do not know.
Okay.
So she leaves you there. She doesn't lock the door, right? She just leaves you there. She's kind of trusting. Yeah, you can handle this. And in fairness, like he seems to be so weak and malnourished that you could easily take him.
Yeah.
You know, but he's not acting in any way agitated or aggressive or excited. He's just kind of sitting there.
Doesn't react at all, does he?
He's not rocking or stimming or anything like that. He's just kind of sitting there and he's just staring out through the this window with bars on it. It looks like what it looks like. This was clearly a castle this far. This hospital, so it has the narrow windows of a castle that they put window panes into, and then have bars on the outside of. Obviously, this is to stop some of the more mentally disturbed patients from trying to escape. Although you're I think you're 2-3 stories up. So if he did escape, it would be a pretty short and sharp fall to the end of the to the ground. But, she shoots off to find the doctor and leaves you with your brother.
Okay. I go up to him and kind of very slowly kind of walk in front of him and kind of like I don't kneel, but I'm like cowering in front of him, like, you know me.
Yeah.
And I say to him like, "Oh, Louise, Louisey, it's me," and I'm speaking in Swiss, you know me.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, it's me, it's Mina. Do you recognize me? Can you hear me?
He hears your voice and he does look at you, and you just hear his voice is kind of harsh. It's kind of harsh. It's kind of broken. He's kind of finding it difficult to speak, like somebody who hasn't drank in a day. Uh, do do Ernest make an meine Schwester?
It's me. It's me, Loisy. It's me, ich bin's. I'm sitting next to him and I just, give him a hug
And he just
very
kind of
carefully,
he just
like,
gently puts a hand kind of patting your shoulder, but it's almost a way, if you have, with small toddlers like 2 3 years of age, when you give them a hug and they'll pat you on the shoulder because they see adults do it.
yeah,
Like they imitate that action that when they see grown-ups do. It almost feels like that, when a small toddler pats a parent on the shoulder when
yeah.
they're getting a hug. It's yeah, but yeah, he like as he had said, you remind me of my sister, but
Mm,
it's almost like he's in a dream.
yeah.
Um, and a moment later, you hear the sounds of footsteps, and in walks the pretty slim blonde nurse, and stand just walking.
Again, a blonde, like, what can I say? Like, not everybody in France. I told him last time, not everybody in France is blonde,
I
but there
know
you go.
brunette is actually far more common in France, but um, and just walking in behind him, you see a man, average height, lean build, dark hair, kind of graying at the sides, a very well maintained mustache, kind of really strong jaw, good features, and he's wearing a light grey woolen suit with a darker grey waistcoat, and as they come in, she goes, Dr. Fournier, as I said, this is the Mademoiselle. She said this is her brother.
I
Um,
get up and I just like gently pat my brother on his shoulder,
mhm,
on his goat one, and then I move around away and I go to the doctor to talk to him,
mhm.
and I introduce myself. I say like, bonsoir. My name is Mina Swisik, and yeah, this is indeed my brother. Have been looking for him, and yeah, his name is Alois Swisik. He's 24, and this is his. And I pull out the letter again. This is his rank and his number and service number. And yeah, tell me everything you know and what happened and how long has he been here?
Um, as far as I remember, he arrived here. Um, I think it was sometime in April. I cannot remember exactly when. It was after one of the battles in which the giants, the Arcadian heavy infantry, as the military folk like to call them, they'd
Hmm.
attacked in force in one of the battles. They had, I mean, I don't want to waste your time getting into details, but they'd gotten around our artillery, and his group, his regiment, was pretty severely devastated. We believe that's how he lost his arm. Ogres or troll ripped it off, ripped the arm mostly off of the shoulder. We It had been bandaged up with tourniquet. A number of soldiers had been brought back here. We were one of the relatively closer hospitals to the front line, and we have seen this with some other soldiers as well, where the trauma the of the war seems to have broken their mind more than their bodies. Um, some have recovered and come out of it with time, though generally those that will recover do within a few weeks or a month or so. I will be honest with you, Mademoiselle. Any soldiers that we have, any patients that we have who have been suffering like your brother has for as long as your brother have, none of them we have seen recover from this.
Yeah.
It's something that it's somewhat new. This war against the Fae was more horrific than any war between human nations. I'm very sorry, there's not much more I can tell you. He is well cared for. I know he looks gaunt. He does
Is
not.
he eating at all?
He does eat some. He is difficult to get to eat. It is not that we do not feed him. We try to feed him. He will take a couple of bowls of broth a day, but that's about it. If we were to give him a plate of food, it would be untouched. But nurses like Nurse Clement and others, they would feed him and some of the other patients like this. They will take broths and soups. They will drink, some hearty goat's milk, for example. Um, but that's really it. So we do try to help him as much as we can, but of course it's difficult. A man needs more than an
Is
onion
he just
soup.
is he just sitting here? Like, is he? That's and looking out the window. That's all he's doing, is
We
it?
bring him outside sometimes to walk the
Okay.
grounds, and
And is he doing that?
he seems to enjoy that most of the time. But there have been one or two incidents when something has happened, a loud noise from a bird, for example, or maybe some loud noises from the street have startled him and upset him. So, but we try to bring him out early in the morning when the city is quieter, or later
Right.
in the evening when most of the birds are going asleep. So we do try to bring him out at least once a day to get some fresh air, to get some exercise, and to get some sunlight. But
Yeah.
it is difficult.
Of course, you have other patients as well.
And
Has he been talking it up? Because he was just talking
really,
to me,
what did he
and
say?
he said that I remind him of his sister.
And both the doctor and the nurse are genuinely shocked by this. They say that's the first words we've heard out of him in months. Um, the only other time we've really heard sounds out of him is sometimes crying in his sleep, crying out names of. We assumed they were fellow soldiers, but yes, no, he doesn't. I'm quite shocked to hear you say that he was speaking.
All right. I mean, to be honest with you, I was like kind of prepared to find a grave, you know. So this is better than I expected.
I will be honest with you, Mademoiselle. If it was just his body that was broken, I could probably heal him. But
Yeah.
this is beyond me.
Yeah, I feel like his shoulder or his what's left of his arm is nicely healed.
There's
So,
many men and women who lose limbs that can live full and
oh
healthy
yeah, yeah,
lives.
no, absolutely.
Th-
So that has nicely healed, like,
It
but
was
yeah.
badly infected when he came here,
Oh
and
really?
I think that did permanently affect his constitution and the infection. We were able to fight it off. We were able
Right.
to. Obviously, he did not die from it, but I do think, in my professional opinion, that infection that had set in when he got here, it certainly weakened his body, and he's never fully recovered from that.
Yeah, I do understand, but I do thank you for what you have done, because he could have easily just died on the battlefield. Um, do you know who was brought him in?
It was the army.
It was just someone in the
It
army.
was
Okay,
just
yeah,
army
it's
soldiers.
nobody I could go and
No,
thank
no,
you.
no. There's
But I do
soldiers and.
thank you. I mean, you've done
Hmm.
what you could, so thank you for that. I yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Can I stay with him for a little while longer?
Absolutely, you could say you could. What time is it now? Miss Lamanche is. Oh, it's It's just after 7, doctor. And he says, you could certainly stay here till 8.
Okay, okay. And what
Once,
are your visiting times then for tomorrow?
to be honest, we don't really have visiting times per se. We're a military
So when could
hospital.
I come? When could I come back then?
I would say maybe 11. That's
Right. Yes.
11. After 11, the patients have all had their breakfast. I've done my morning
Yeah.
rounds.
Yeah.
They've got their morning exercise, so 11 would be good.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. What was your name again? Excuse me.
My name is Dr. Fournier.
Thank you so much for everything you have done. Yeah.
Of course. So the doctor and the nurse, Dr. Fournier and Nurse Clement, they leave you to your brother.
Yeah.
And
I'll just go back to him. I sit next to him on the bed, and I just grab his hand and gently hold his hand, and just sit with him.
Yeah, there's not much in the room. You notice now there's an empty bowl that probably had some onion soup or something in it, and there's a pitcher with some drinking water and a cup as well. And then beyond that, all else that's in the room is a wash basin. A ceramic wash basin that looks like it's never been used, and a chamber pot, and that's basically it. So.
Okay.
Like, it's not. I mean, I will say it's grim in that it's a very bare room, but it's not like some prisoner cell that they've locked them in. Like, don't be thinking 19th century Victorian era prisons, because it's nothing like that. But do think 19th century Victorian era hospital. They weren't the nicest. So the fact that he has a private room, it's itself a big deal.
Yeah.
That probably has more to do with the architecture of the hospital, because, as I say, it was
smaller rooms rather than big wards kind of a thing.
Yeah, well, the hospital, you could tell from the outside of it, it was clearly formerly a castle. So
so it wasn't built with like huge wards, like
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
So there's like probably a large dining hall and maybe another hall for meetings and receptions.
Yeah.
But like then it's all various different size smaller rooms. So.
Yeah. They also need some rooms for like surgeries and things as well. Like. Okay. Cool.
So yeah, as I say, they leave you undisturbed for an hour. Your brother does not respond again to you. That brief flicker of almost recognition when you sat down in front of him is it. He's just, when you take his hands, he's quite gentle, but he's not.
Really he's not recoiling or anything. No, he's not kind of reacting at all. Like.
It's kind of weird. It's like you kind of get the sense that he is aware of your presence, but just isn't responding to your presence.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Sorry, I'm just writing that all down.
So while this is all happening, the rest of you guys, you are in the hotel, okay, so yeah, you guys are in the hotel, and you notice that actually I can't remember. Did I tell you the name of the hotel last week?
You might have.
Le Petit Chamber? No,
that was Paris.
That was in Paris.
Lyon.
Was in Paris. No, you didn't.
It was in Dijon because we stayed in Amanada's.
It was in Dijon.
That was in Dijon, yeah. And in Paris we stayed with. No, you didn't tell us this one.
Okay. No, you didn't.
This is called La Hotel de Ville. Okay. So you guys are
It's the townhouse.
Yeah, it basically means like
it means townhouse. Yeah, that's what they call the townhouse. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah,
I'm like, why did they call the townhouse a hotel? You French or mad?
So, well, this is a very small city. It's a very medieval city. Like, there's actually there's the remnants of like walls around the perimeter of the city. You go in and then you see this big like castle that is now the hospital. So it has a very old medieval kind of vibe to it, So yeah, so you guys are chilling in the hotel and you realize Mina is being gone for a walk for a very long time.
Sylvia is starting to get worried. She's just pacing.
Yeah, I mean, I could obviously contact her, but she would have no way of contacting me back, so
Nope.
that's useless. Maybe we should go and head to the hospital and even inquire about her.
You could always
She
cast
arrived
locate.
there.
You could always cast
Oh,
locate
I can
person.
cast
Well,
locate
Yeah.
person.
Considering this, like we know her brother is in the vicinity, she might have found him, and it would be a bit selfish of us to rob her of that time.
I am, yeah, no, I agree, but I am just getting kind of worried is all, you know. But yes, Aminata is right. I think that maybe we should give it a little bit more time. And if she does not come back, I do think we should go looking for her. I mean, if some thugs are stupid enough to try and rob her, well, actually,
Yeah.
I would kind of like to see what happens because it would be funny. But I do think, yeah, if she doesn't come back, we should probably go and look for her.
At least go and inquire that she arrived there safely. I just would
Yeah.
be concerned that it's a strange city for us all, and
Strange city, you know. Mina managed to find her way to Cheville with, so it's she is capable, and we need to give her time. If she is in trouble, Mina would have found a way to raise an alarm, contact us in some way or form. I do think we should probably give her some time, and if she doesn't come back, we'll agree at what time? 9 o'clock.
Well, as I
If she does,
said, Gwyn could, if she wants, just cast locate person.
Or do you know, we could just go to the hospital and wait outside.
I'm sure they will have a reception desk.
We could just wait. We don't have to go inside, but we could just wait.
If you want to go, please go ahead. I will not be with you.
I am just a bit concerned for what she
would
might
like-
find in there, so I would be willing to go and even just inquire at the desk
I
and
would
make
like
sure
to
it's
go.
okay.
Not necessarily go in and disturb her, but I do want to.
No. I just want to make sure she got there okay, and that, it will be dark when she's leaving, and we're safer walking back here together.
It will be dark, Mina, because remember, we are in February. So
It's February,
Oh
Okay.
yeah, quick question. We
March
jumped
now,
to
okay.
the 4th of March,
It's
Neil.
March,
And how
yeah.
many
Yeah.
when we left?
Sorry, actually,
So it's the
7 days.
It's the 8th of March.
7th of March.
7th of March, yes, thank you.
Sorry, I keep saying
Because
February.
we did spend
we had a couple of time jumps. It is actually the 7th.
we did, yeah, and we did spend a couple of days traveling.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So I will quickly cast locate person just to be sure that she's in the hospital, even though, I think 99% sure that that's where she would have gone.
You get out your parchment and you sprinkle the iron filings on it, and then you focusing your energy, focusing on your dear friend who you know very well, bringing your pendulum up and slowly spinning it around. As you channel your magic into these objects, the iron filings start to scatter across the page, but they start forming the lines that make up streets of the city. Okay? And they make up... see, if Twitch would let me share images, that would be great. Because I actually found last week a map of the city of Cambrai that was published in 1872, which is the year our game is set in. Could not believe it when I found it. It's not a link. You see, it was a JPEG thingy, so...
well, we'll just use theater of the mind.
Theater of the mind.
We believe you, Neil.
Oh wait, hold on. I actually have something, maybe.
It's the no.
Ta-da! No, in Victorian Paris at night.
It doesn't really help. So it starts forming these
very ambiotic, great ambience. No, there it is.
And it starts forming out the city streets, and you see it forming various different streets, and that the walls of the on the exterior of the city and the river, and there's a building kind of in the northeast corner of the city and it marks it out. And
Neil,
yes.
does the spell actually locate you now that they're so close? Does it locate you to the room of a
No, it's
building?
locating to the building.
Wow. Okay.
So
Cool.
when Gwyn cast this spell looking for your brother when you were in
Yeah.
Cherville, it formed a map of like the northern, the top half of France,
Yeah.
and located on the city of Cambrai. Now that you are in this city and she's casting it on you, the map is forming of the city and showing the building that you're in.
Yeah.
So
Because
that's
it showed the big building, so
yeah.
that's why we were asking, hey,
Yeah.
is there a big gas building in
Yeah,
the north of
exactly.
the city? We'd asked the
So
taxi
now
driver, the handsome driver, about that.
you don't know how it would, like, if Gwyn was in the hospital and cast a spell,
Yeah.
you don't know what it would be like.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, get
You
you.
know,
Yeah.
So shall
Interesting.
we go?
Yes.
so don't forget, Aminati, you now have a ring of invisibility. Just to remind you.
I'm going to use it to spy on my friends.
So right, so Gwyn, Sylvia,
Yes.
it's like not even a 10-minute walk. It's a
Yeah.
small city, so
Okay.
you get there.
Yeah.
I mean, when I say city, think of it in the medieval sense of a city, like
Yeah.
Think
So
fussing with nothing. 10 minutes away.
yeah, so
But
No.
Cork, everything is 20-minute walk or what?
yeah,
Yeah.
this city is probably smaller than Cork.
Okay.
Okay,
So
get
10
you. Yeah.
minutes.
Okay.
We're gonna like power walk and get there fast.
Mother
Yeah.
hens. Perriers.
Yep.
Oh, well,
So yeah, you
don't
guys
worry.
head up and you're chilling, waiting around. Mina, you spend an hour with your brother, and then
Yeah.
eventually Nurse Clamall comes up and she says, "I'm very sorry, Mademoiselle, but we will have to
Yeah,
start
no,
getting
I
the
totally
patients ready
understand.
for."
Thank you so much for
Course.
coming to get me. I would have forgotten the time completely. And I kiss my brother on the cheek, and I get up and I tell him like, now go to sleep and sleep well, Loisy. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow. And I get up and I tell her like, I'm afraid I didn't really pay attention which way the exit is. I'll promise you I'll pay attention this time.
I'll bring you down to the front door.
And I do make a point of like remembering
Mhm.
because I was more anxious and I
Yeah.
was really
It's
kind
a
of getting upset, so I didn't really pay attention.
it's
But
a
this time I make a point of trying to remembering the way.
it's a fairly straightforward layout. It's not complex.
Oh.
So you go down you go down a corridor, take a left, down 2 flights of stairs, and then you're out in a few minutes out to the main lobby, and then out through the front door. And as you go out,
I say I thank you very much, and I'll be back around 11 o'clock.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
you step outside onto the city street, and standing in front of you, you see a somewhat anxious and worried-looking Sylvia and Gwyn.
Oh, hey guys. They let me in. As you probably have. I just
Yeah.
couldn't wait. I wanted to
But
go and ask.
of,
So
of course not. He's your brother. Like
Yeah.
I understand. But
Are you okay?
yeah, I'm okay. I mean, he's alive. It could be worse.
yeah,
It
okay.
could be better.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good start.
Okay, this is good news.
He lost an arm, but like that is nothing.
Oh,
That was
well,
nothing too bad. I mean, people survive that.
unfortunately, Mina, the word giants.
Yeah,
So
no, I mean, there's a couple of veteran crime fighters who had like similar afflictions.
some of my friends had the same thing happen to them, and they had to go home because they could not fight. But they went back to their families, and losing an arm is not also there are magics that can heal this. So I have seen very powerful magics, so I know that they are possible. So
Well,
if it
that's
is
not really too much of an issue. As I said, we have
no,
lots of veterans who have kind of similar thing happen to them because
oh,
they got
Well,
too close
Mina,
to some giants, but like the problem
yeah.
is, like I don't know, like the problem is his mind. I mean, he didn't even recognize me.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, they were
oh.
saying he hadn't spoken since he actually got here. Now he did speak to me, but he didn't really recognize me, and yeah, he only spoke to me once, and
He spoke to you, though.
he did. Yeah, the doctor was very surprised. So I don't know.
Um,
I'll
well,
go see him tomorrow. I don't know. I mean, like he
uh,
eats, but not much, and he's kind of there, and I have a feeling like he knows somebody is there, but he's just not engaging with you
well,
at all. Like, you know, it's just,
Mina,
yeah, it's
if
somewhere else, I think.
if you would allow, I think I cannot fix what is wrong, but I can maybe make him more comfortable. If you would let me, maybe I could help.
Sure. I mean, anything really. I
I,
mean, I'd
I,
be happy if we would just eat.
oh,
I
well,
mean,
I
they do
have,
feed him and all, but like he seems to be like they just have to kind of spoon feed him
well,
broth, and
I
he's not
can make,
eating
I have
anything
magics
otherwise. Like, yeah.
that can make food more restorative. So if they could get him to eat some of the food that I have cast a spell on, and then maybe I could heal him a little bit more.
Yeah, that might actually, yeah, because he's very he
It
lost a
won't.
lot of weight, let's say that, like, you know.
I won't be able to restore him, but I can make him more
No, but
comfortable.
it would help. I mean, like he's very
Um,
thin, you know, he's really very thin. And they did say
mm,
like, yeah, if you leave like proper food other than a broth or a soup or something, he's
well,
not eating it at all, like, you
I
know.
can
So,
help. I can help with that much.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, that would be good. Like,
Just a
yeah, I don't know what to do. Like,
sorry, what, Neil?
minor point. Just to be very nitpicky, you will need to use your nature craft to grow a small cluster of berries because it is March. Berries aren't in season.
Yeah, but I can bring food and bless it.
Oh yeah, I think you can do that with that spell as well. Yeah.
I don't have to, like, I just have to cast it on some food. It doesn't have to be,
Yeah. So
sorry.
yeah,
specially
in theory,
grown. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you could bless whatever onion soup they're feeding him.
Exactly. That was my plan. Failing that, Sylvia, as a soldier, always carries snacks.
Sensible.
Yeah.
I just kind of, yeah.
Restorative snacks is basically my power right now. That's all I can do. But
Restorative snacks.
yes.
I just look at you and I say, like, yeah, honestly, because he lost so much weight, I feel like that would be
that is
a
something
start. You
that is
know,
something that I can do. But also, Mina, there are magics out there that could restore his mind. I know this because I have seen these magics. I suppose you don't know because you wouldn't have known me well when we met in the hospital when you were looking for your brother. I remember meeting you, but not clearly. And when I spoke to you, I felt like I was stuck behind a pane of glass. I couldn't. I was trying. Which is why when our paths crossed again, I was a little rude because I didn't remember you. My own mind was very shattered after the war. I was very trapped in that place all the time. But so when my bandages were changed, I would be able to come back because, you know, pain has a funny way of grounding you, you know. But after I would tend to go away again, I honestly don't remember leaving the hospital. I don't remember where I was going. I remember I had to get out, but by the time, well, I left before my wounds were healed. So it wasn't long before I started to get infected again. And by the time Eike, the Musleute, found me, my body was, I was near death, my mind was gone, but she was able to restore me.
Okay.
And I know that I am still not, but I am better than I was. So I know that this magic exists. And I really think, given time, I could learn that magic. And,
Right. Yeah.
But in the meantime, I can use the magics that I have to at least give him some nourishment.
Yeah, that would help. That would really help. And I mean, like, I don't know how far. I mean, you both went through kind of the same war.
Yeah, but I don't
I don't
want to
know where
ask.
he is in comparison to you, but I mean,
Well,
like, he.
I did face
I
giants,
suppose
and
even a little bit would help because, like, again, if at least if he could at least like eat himself, do you know, that
well,
would be a big step.
if they
That
could
would be
get him,
already really good. Like if he could, you know,
yeah.
at least take care of himself.
Well, given time, I should be able to learn the magic to restore his mind. I can't promise that
Yeah.
he will be as he was before.
No, I don't
Because
think he ever will.
I know,
but
I know that I am not as I was before. I am.
But at least you can eat yourself. I mean, like you're not, and you're talking to people,
Yeah.
and you're like.
Now, I was talking before, as you know, because I did speak with you, but
Yeah, you
my
did.
mind
Yeah.
also was
But I mean, even
shattered.
if he was still that far gone, I mean, like at least if he would.
He sounds like he was.
If he would eat something when you put it in front of him, that alone would be so great. You know what I mean? That would be, yeah, because then
I
you
can
could
help
bring him
him.
something and he could eat it, and
Yeah, and given time, I can harness magics. And you know, Madame Gautier did mention a Fey Mount. Maybe we could find something there, or
yeah,
absolute worst case scenario, if I am not able to learn the magics, I know that Aika would be able to heal him.
right, yeah. Oh, that was the name of the most
Well,
like
it wasn't her name because they don't tell you their
But you
names.
call you. That's
But
what
I
you
called
used.
her.
Yeah.
I called her Aika. But I know that she is a powerful healer, so I know that these magics exist. I don't have access to them, but I can learn.
I'll just have to see what he's like during the day and see. And I mean, like, I'm not sure if he can or how long he can stay here because, like, you know, they kept him because they didn't know who he was because he didn't have any identification or anything on him.
Wait, he had nothing?
They didn't know who he was.
Do your soldiers not carry Huntermarken?
I don't know. He must have lost it, like, you know.
Well,
Gwyn, you have no idea what that word means. Because
Yeah, because like
in French, but she just used a German term.
Like
Also, Neve
I
doesn't
would
know
know
what that
because,
is.
like, you know, my regiment, like my I imagine my group would use that too if they ever have a big battle or whatever, and you know people would want to be identified. So I imagine the French. I'm like, listen, I don't know enough about the French army as such, but I imagine they would. But he probably lost it in the fight, so they really didn't know who he was.
Well, the Prussian army, Sylvia is going to start like rummaging around in her, like you're going to see her kind of just trying to. Well, in the Prussian army, they issued us all with Huntermarken. You can see it has my name, my regiment, and all of that. And
what does it look like? Is it like a dog tag?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay.
Huntermarken, hound mark. It literally means dog mark.
I don't even know if they call it like that in direct
did.
or is it they do call it like that?
So in 1870,
I really would not have to ask my uncle.
So
Prussia was the first one to do it.
In 1870, the Prussian army started issuing the soldiers with They called them recognition market. I don't speak German, but anyway, the soldiers said like, oh, this is like, because you
A
know
dog tag.
it's like collaring a dog,
Yeah.
tagging a dog. So
they had them in like Berlin. If you had a dog, it
Yeah.
had
so
to
they
have tags.
so the soldiers started calling them Hundermarken,
Hundemarken.
and the like, you know, the like
Kaiser.
obviously the Kaiser was like super not but that just made them call it that more.
It's so funny. It completely and utterly like
But 1870,
moved
like,
to like everybody in any army. Like, you know what I mean? The US soldiers call it dog tag. Everybody calls it a dog
so
tag.
what
It's so funny.
they a lot of soldiers wouldn't wear them because they thought it was bad luck. But in Prussia, they were like, no, you're fucking wearing them.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
So, yeah.
so.
But the French in 1870 did not have, like, a soldier might have his name written on a piece of paper tucked into his pocket, maybe.
Yeah,
But
they have their
official,
like
But
what they're
yeah,
called.
they
had
they
their
literally-
insignia ranks, but that like they had no official identifiers,
No.
but the Prussians did.
We have
so
your number.
they were literally called dog tags.
Yeah, it's gas.
So for Sylvia, it'd be kind of confusing because she's like,
We're like,
we all.
why
got
does he
these.
not have? We all had dog tags. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So I'm like, I say like, well, you know, man, you see me when I wear my uniform, if it's my dress uniform or if I wear my fighting uniform, you always see like the little number that I wear, the
Yeah.
87.
Yeah,
That's my regiment number
yeah.
in the giant fighting guards, and there's another little number that's my personal number. So
Oh,
this is
okay.
how they identify me. But like, if something would happen, but like he might have, I don't know how the French do it, and he might have lost his.
They didn't basically.
Yeah, but like I'm talking about from Mina's perspective,
Yeah.
he really
Mina
wouldn't.
hasn't a clue.
So I'm like, I don't know what the French are doing, and I don't know. Like, he probably lost his. And when I went in and asked the nurse there at the reception, she was like, I think that might be your brother because you kind of look like, you kind of look like this man we have here. So maybe come and see. I don't know, and it was him, but like,
But Mina,
yeah, I don't know. Are we getting to the inn, I suppose,
Oh yeah,
right?
like as I said, it's only 10
Yeah.
minutes. So this conversation
Yeah.
is finished.
So I'm
Kind of
going in. I'm
go.
going right up to the bar, and I'm ordering like the hardest drink that they have.
Okay, right.
gonna join you in that because
Ready.
fuck
To
me.
the bar.
I
I
love
love
it.
how you
That's like, she's like, click. I mean, you've been waiting for that. Like,
Please,
Yeah.
God.
I love it.
Please don't
Okay.
tell me you have
So
a Victorian hospital background. I will not be able to
do.
cope.
So,
Oh, Jesus.
So funny. Like,
Aminata, when your friends have gone, the mother hens have gone after Mina. What do you get up to?
the mother hens.
You're muted.
I'm going to fuck around the hotel with my invisible ring.
You're trying it out.
Yes, do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
I love it. I love
God
it.
damn it. Okay. Just give me a. Do you know what? You just
You
give
precious.
me a stealth roll.
Okie dokie. Oh, I miss my dice. Haven't played with them in ages.
Being stealthy.
So it's a +6 to the roll. We have to update your character sheet, but currently it's still +6.
So that will be a 17.
With the bonus for your ring, that makes it a 27.
Oh my god.
Yes. The ring of invisibility gives a +10 bonus to stealth.
Wow.
Oh my god.
And
This is
while
going to be
technically we
fucking
should
great.
Well, technically we should be waiting until Justine actually gets back and casts some identifying magics on the ring, so you would know
I've
exactly
been
what
saying
it
that
is.
because there might be
I know.
some,
But
being
I'm going to tell you
consequences. But no, everybody
mechanics-
just
So
of putting it on. There you go.
The mechanics of the ring as it stands are: while you are wearing it, you get a +10 bonus to stealth and a +5 bonus to your defense. Okay.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there's something fucking wrong with this ring.
Yeah. Anyone trying to attack them or target them in any way will suffer a -5 penalty to the ability test, which stacks on top of your +5. Okay. You turn visible by twisting the ring so that the stone faces out, because it's a simple plain golden band with a rough dark stone stud in it. It looks kind of like maybe unpolished obsidian, but it's not entirely sure what it is. So if you twist it so that the stone is facing in, you turn invisible, and if you twist it so the stone is facing out, you become visible again. Okay. If you enter an area where the magical field nullifying magic, the ring's abilities may be temporarily impaired depending on the strength of the person who created the field, or depending on the strength of the arcane void, you know? But unlike other inferior games involving chasing dragons in subterranean areas, you do not turn visible after an attack or casting a spell. You stay invisible.
Are you? Oh.
Yes, you stay invisible.
Oh, I'm just
Do you
gonna
know
be
that
out
what that
there.
means? Every
Weddings for
fucking
everybody.
attack that you do is a stealth attack with
Yes.
like
It's a
I don't
sneak
know how
Every
attack.
much
attack is
crazy bonus.
automatically stealth attack, giving you sneak attack.
Legendary items, bitches.
This is a
Deadly.
so just to put this in the this is for our viewers as well, we'll finish up in a minute for taking a quick 5-minute break because I need a fresh cup of tea. But in the Feyard system, magic items are categorized based on the rarity from common, uncommon, rare, very rare, and legendary, and they have what's called a power point rating. Common items is 0, uncommon is 1, rare is 2, very rare is 3, and legendary is 6. And you get a number of power points equal to your level. This is a legendary item, meaning it's 6 power points. You are just a bare minimum level required to be able to fully functionally use this magic item. But you can not. So consumable items don't count towards your PowerPoint rating. So, for example, if you get some magic bullets or a healing potion, they don't count. But if you try to use any non-consumable magic item while you are in possession of this ring, it probably wouldn't work until you get to a higher level, because it's a legendary magical item that you got because some fairies gave it as a gift to a guy to teach him a lesson.
How much was I paying attention to that part?
They gave him the ring of invisibility so he would be able to steal the treasure from the Drac that then turned up and said, "Hey bitches, where's our gold?"
Sylvia then had an episode.
Yeah. So that was what that was, you know. As far as you know, it's still just a magic ring of invisibility. And the prank was in them saying, "Oh, you want treasure? Here."
Yeah, it's essentially go knick-knack that house.
You can now breathe underwater, and this ring will make you invisible. Go to this lake, you'll find all the treasure you want. And he did. And then some shape-shifting mermaid that could turn into dragons said, "Hey, bitches, where's our gold?"
Okie dokie. Well, I'm just fucking around with people in the hotel. So first of all, I'm not stealing nobody's shit.
No.
Steal everyone's left shoe. That'll just be really annoying.
I love it.
No, not the shoe.
Outside
Steal
their
the
shoelaces.
shoelaces.
Yeah.
All the shoelaces. Gone.
Sorry, I'm just going totally Lilo and Stitch here.
Yeah.
His destructive programming will immediately take effect when he will reverse street signs, back up stores, and steal everybody's left shoe.
Why the left one? I don't know. That was funny.
So it's a nice hotel. It's like 3 stories. You think maybe about 12 rooms in the hotel. It's pretty nice, you know. It looks like it was maybe some sort of a nice chateau or a wealthy person's like townhouse that was then converted into a hotel. You think you're not entirely sure. About half of the rooms are not including yours. So you have a room each, and of the remaining 8 rooms, about half of them appear to be occupied as well. You can hear some people talking. It's kind of early evening, so people aren't going to bed yet. People have a lot of people are just kind of finishing dinner. So
I'm afraid of what you're going to do.
some of the rooms were unoccupied because people were downstairs in the dining area having dinner. But yeah. So how much chaos do you want to get up to?
All of it.
Out of what? What's the range here?
No. How much chaos do you want to get
Like,
up?
seriously,
The
just
answer is
tell me.
yes.
Yeah.
full Olaf, or like
Channel Olaf.
I,
Oh
I
man,
will
if
start. I
Olaf
will
had a
start with
ring.
like small, tiny things, and
Okay.
then the more things just start getting a bit crazy, I'm just gonna keep at it, keep at it.
it's like, you're like tasting a little bit of it and like, oh, this is really good. Oh man, the power.
Okay.
Well, you're talking to a diplomatic kid here, so this is just opening all sorts of doors for me right now.
Yeah. As someone who's grown up in a household where you had to be restrained all the time, and you now have this.
Hmm.
Right.
Mhm.
So, the party has a nice evening meal. Aminata does come down and join you all. Mina fills in Aminata on her brother and the plan that tomorrow Sylvia will go and use some of her druid magic to bless some food to try and restore him somewhat. Okay. I assume Aminata, but please correct me if I'm wrong. You don't tell the party what you were getting up to while they were gone.
I probably would, because I could probably sense that the mood is very somber right now, even if it's not to cheer anyone up in particular. It's
Okay.
just to kind of, you know, like kind of elevate the mood a little bit to kind
I
of show
caused
that
some chaos. Look.
exactly things will be okay. And I'll like obviously during dinner I'll probably want to sit next to Mina, and I'm just going to like hold her hand and give it a nice squeeze to reassure her that we're all here for her.
Still, while you're talking about your like general medicine, Sylvia does give you a slightly like a smile, but there's a slight sadness to that smile.
Mm-hmm.
Very much in a but also like, there's definitely a sadness there as well.
Oh, for sure. Like Amanada is quite a strategic person and very poised, and you can see that there's some sort of like there's some unease with the situation, but you're not quite sure why.
Yeah, no, like I'm telling you this because I know that Aminata is really good at reading people. So
Yeah,
what
you're
you
quite
see,
observant. You would spot
so
this.
Oh yeah.
Sylvia is very genuinely
notice it, like,
amused
yeah.
by what you're doing, but it also makes her really sad. Is what you're picking up.
It's almost like conflicting emotions that you're seeing across Sylvia's face.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have an enjoyable evening with Aminata telling you about how she tied the shoelaces of shoes together, and
Wynn wholeheartedly approves
Yes.
of Aminata's behavior.
Was putting slippers into empty chamber pots and hiding chamber pots and and general chaos.
Creating meet cutes left, right, and center, playing an invisible cupid.
But eventually you do
Moving people's underwear.
Wedgie.
No, not while they're wearing it, just like taking it out of drawers and putting it in weird places.
That's not fun.
It's still like somebody's been in my room and in my
Ghost
shit.
veggie.
Somebody was rude to like the waiters. Wedgie.
Yeah.
Love it.
But
Vigilante arc.
you do eventually go to bed with the plan tomorrow that you will be heading, certainly Mina and Sylvia will be heading back to the hospital to see Mina's brother again, hopefully heal him somewhat, and I suppose everybody having a conversation about what to do next, whether to stay in Cambrai or maybe go looking for some of these powerful fey magics that Sylvia is talking about. And I think that is a perfect place to pause in our story.
I need another drink.
So
Jeez.
we'll be back in just 5 minutes, folks. I need a cup of tea. Susie needs a gin. But I promise it will be no more than about 5 minutes, and we will get back to the this mixture of emotional damage and chaotic revelry. Okay?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Like that's just our thing right now.
Go to the background,
Always.
I really do.
Always.
Oh. there on the
Yeah,
table.
it's probably ketchup or something really weird. Don't
So
zoom in.
Okay. So we are back. Tenda will be joining us in a moment. Just before we get back, to remind people, I am currently running a Kickstarter which ends tomorrow. I think 9 a.m. Dublin time tomorrow. I'm not actually sure, but it ends tomorrow. It's been doing hugely successful. I had a funding goal of €400, and when I checked it earlier today, we're at 1,052.
Yay.
So completely
yay,
destroyed it.
amazing. Thank
But
you guys.
Destroyed.
the link is in the chat if you would like to consider backing it. It's a wonderfully fun, whimsical, rules-light TTRPG called Fey Wanderer, in which you play Fey creatures on a quest for treasure in the Fey realm. There is the standard throw a bit of support $2 or €2 tier. Then there's the €5 tier where you get the PDF, and then at the €20 tier you get the PDF, and I will also put you into a group based on time zones, and I'll run a game for you as well. Okay, so yeah, very excited about it. It's just going to be digital, so hopefully once the Kickstarter is fully finished and all the money's come in and all the rest of that, I'm hoping to have the game out to our backers by end of September, Halloween at the latest. But anyway, yep, so that's
Halloween would be
Make
cool.
it rain.
yeah, so that's the
Yeah.
Kickstarter we want. But so just as I said, just a quick recap of that. The Kickstarter, as I said, finishes tomorrow. I think 9 o'clock in the morning. I think Dublin time. So there's still about 12 hours, I think, left on the campaign. If you wanted to back it. If you don't want to back it, when the game is released to our backers and is fully published, it will be available to purchase probably for about €8 on my itch.io page, and probably also on drive-through as well. And as I say, it's a very fun game, and it is a game that is suitable for all ages. I didn't intend for it to be suitable for all ages, but in making a really simple, fun rules-like game that you can play from 0 in 20 minutes, I ended up inadvertently making a game that's also really great for kids. In fact, one of my playtesters playtested it numerous times with his 5-year-old son, I believe. So, and he had a great time with it. So, yes. Anywho, getting back to the story. When last we left our heroes, the party was in the city of Cambrai. It's kind of a small medieval city in the north of France, quite close to the Belgian border. Okay, approximately 40 kilometers from the Belgian border. Mina had gone into the military hospital in the city where she had found her brother. He is not the man she recognized or remembered from who had gone to join the French army. He, having lost an arm in a giant attack, his body gaunt and frail, and his mind shattered. She spent some time talking to the doctor and the nurse there. She spent some time with him, but he did not really respond to her at all. The only time he responded briefly when she first entered the room, telling her that she reminded him of his sister. And when she recounted this to the medical staff, they were quite shocked, because apparently that was the first time he'd ever spoken, apart from cries in his nightmares. So the party did eventually go back to the hotel. Aminata regaled them with tales of the chaos she got up to while she was experimenting with the Ring of Invisibility that they recently acquired in Cheville, a very, very powerful magical relic that she is going to probably use to great effect in your adventures going forth. But we return. It is the next morning. I believe it is now the 9th of March. To the party, you get up, you have some breakfast. Mina, having told you that she's been told she can go back to the hospital at 11 o'clock that morning. Is there anything anybody wants to do? Is there any spells, Gwyn, that anybody wants to cast?
Yeah, I'm going to tell Paulina, I mean Justina,
Yeah.
where we are.
Yes. So you are going to cast Moonlit Script.
Moonlit Script. So that will return any in the same realm as me,
Yes,
as long as I know the person.
The length of the message that you cast is a number of words equal to your level plus your resolve.
But you can cast it multiple times.
You
if
can
you need
cast
to.
it multiple times. So you are
That's 9.
Your 6th level with resolve of 3, so 9. Okay, so
Okay.
you can say up to 9 words, but you know it's 2 mana to cast.
It's like with the old Nokias, you know, and you were trying to shorten everything down to one text message.
Oh
yeah. What
dude.
was it? Like,
Dude.
was it 120?
It was like 106 or 120 or 160 characters or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. That was showing our
Those
age.
were the days.
Yeah. So
We never
anyway,
went back. Okay, I will say, what's the name of the place we're in again?
Cambrai.
Cambrai.
Right. Okay, I will say it's Gwyn. We're in Cambrai. It's 5.
Yeah.
Come meet us.
Come
That's
meet
8.
us.
That's 8. Yeah.
XX.
See you. Love you.
Okay.
Do.
Oh, Tenda, you're mute, honey. You're mute, love.
Is Gwen sending a message like with everybody there, or was it just like first thing in the morning sort of thing?
I think it was over breakfast, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's over breakfast,
Yeah.
so I can send it again to anyone. Yeah, so I'll mention it to the party. I'm going to send Justina a message using Moonlit Script. Does anyone have anything to say to her?
Ask her when she's back.
Okay, I will also.
Well, this is the thing. You don't know if she can. It's a one-way message.
Oh yeah, it's one-way message.
So unless
she gets
also has this spell or some other way of communicating, say a message.
Well, if she has a messenger pen, she can get back to us. But if she doesn't,
but yeah, so it's one way.
How
but
long
at least
do we
she'll get the message.
How long do we intend to stay here, Mina? It's completely up to you. Just
I
so I can
don't
give her an
know. I
idea.
really don't know. I have to figure out
Why don't we go to
how
Guadalajara?
exactly he is and how long they want to keep him. And I
Yeah.
now that they know who he is and he has family, and I don't know.
Well,
I honestly don't know. I have to talk to them, and I don't know.
I think it would be prudent if we said we'd stay here for at least another week.
Yeah,
we have
they give
time
her
with the
time to
dog?
come, and
We do not have the time for
How
that.
long until the next full moon?
The next
So,
full moon is
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And it took us a
6,
week to
7,
get here.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
4 days.
4 days.
18 days until the next full moon.
Okay,
So just
so
over
we need
2 weeks.
we need to return to
And
Cherville
yes, it
to
was
take out Dubois.
4 days of travel to get back to Cheville.
Okay.
Also,
Before he transforms into a werewolf.
Madame Gauthier mentioned that there was a famine that she wanted us to explore. Perhaps if we went there, we could, maybe there is a way that we could increase in power. Perhaps we might find something that might help Mina's brother. I think we should take this job.
He said they're full of powerful
well,
items.
listen. If nothing else, I honestly need some money because
Yeah.
I want to bring him home. But like, if we need someone to help look after him,
She did say if she hires you, when she hires adventurers such as yourselves to do these kinds of jobs, the contract is
we get all the
she
gold.
gets to keep all magic items and 10% of the treasure, and you get to keep the other 90% of the treasure, which, in a Fey Mount can be considerable. You can be talking thousands of gold or silver or gems.
So we don't have time to stay for. We don't have time to stay for a whole week. We have to get back to Cherville before Dubois turns into a werewolf. Either for me to remove the curse if I manage to learn that spell, or to put a bullet in his head.
That makes perfect sense. I do have I don't know if maybe it's just me. That offer of what we get to keep versus what she gets to keep, it sounds like
Well, she is an artificer. It would make sense that she was interested in fate
Well,
technology.
True.
if you
Also,
think you
if we
can
have
get us a
money,
better deal, maybe you could negotiate with her.
Because it's quite likely that she has somebody on her team that may help her get something that's, legendary as well. So I just don't want any of us to be shortchanged, because at the end of the day, we are going in there to risk our lives, not she.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
but
mean,
we still need money.
there will be lots of gold and
You did
gems.
say you get to keep 90%
I
of the treasure.
I do. That's one
Mm.
thing.
We need,
I do need
we
some money
need,
now.
we need some money.
I'm
So
sure
I
Because I
Susie
think
do,
would
I
give
do
you.
I need to bring him home. I need to
I hate
take
to
him
be
out of the
mercenary
hospital.
about this, but we need to take the job.
Mina, you know, if you needed to bring him home urgently, you wouldn't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
But I
What do you
understand.
mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
Well, you know, I mean, I just feel like I need a little bit of money at least to be able to. I probably need some help looking after him, and
Well, I'm pretty sure that is
I don't
something
know.
I can help get arranged for you. Like I said, you don't have to worry about it. I do know that having additional money will be beneficial for the duration of his recovery. So I understand that we need to get the money. I'm just saying I'm just not sure how good of a deal we're getting, but this is an urgent case, so
Yeah, you can always
Also,
talk to
I
her.
mean,
Maybe you can get a
if
better deal. Like,
as well the other thing about exploring the Feyman, I have an opportunity here to increase in power and learn more magic, and learn the necessary spell to restore his mind, which I know works because it worked on me.
okay.
yeah, yeah. I suppose.
I love how we're
I'm a
like,
bit worried because, like, if something happens to me, well, no, I'm gonna write to my brother's where he is. So if it's something happens to me, they can go and get him.
That's what
But
I'm thinking about.
I love guys how you are in character saying we need to XP mine to level up.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
we're
I'm
trying.
Power.
trying
We're
to not
trying. We're
say
trying. We're
I can't
trying.
earn
We're
this till I'm
trying.
level
But
8 and we are currently level 6.
We
Oh, no,
we
I
actually
love it. I love it. It's great. Yeah, you're having your breakfast, as I say, chilling.
need XP du bois.
Yeah. Amanada, you do spot something as a gentleman. These reading the breakfast or reading the newspaper while having his breakfast, and you do spot a headline on the front page: "Murderer to be hanged found dead." On the front page of the paper.
A mystery.
Okay, I'm obviously gonna jump at this
Yeah.
and just get up and
There'd be a couple of other papers around that you don't need to like assault this
Oh,
man
crap.
and take his one.
Give me that. Give me that. Get over here. Okay, Grant. Yeah, so I'm just going to walk around, try and grab a paper, and then come and sit back down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure, cool. So
What have you there, Amanata?
Just a headline that caught my attention. Apparently, there was a murderer who was due to be hanged, and he was found dead this morning.
yeah, you're reading the paper,
That's good
and
news.
it says
Oh.
Jacques Dutot,
Cousteau.
who had no, not Cousteau, Jacques Dutot, who he'd apparently he'd murdered his wife and another man. The newspaper says he thought she was having an affair,
Oh,
so
yeah.
he killed her, and he killed the man he thought she was having an affair with.
Crime of passion.
He'd been found guilty and was actually due to be hanged tomorrow for his crime, but was found dead in his cell like late last night. You know.
Oh, that's good news.
Oh well.
Well, yes, it's good news. However, how was that's a crime.
Yeah.
Whoever managed
They
to
well
do that.
they in the article it says he when he was found he did not appear to have any wounds on him, so it is believed that he died of natural causes.
Mm.
Even if someone did get the job done early, it's no loss.
Look, I think in the meantime, let us go to see. Well, I would like to help Mina's brother. In the meantime, after that, I think we should investigate. If you have a feeling about it, Aminata.
I for some reason I think we should investigate this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I agree.
Can't wait to shake their hand when we find out who did it.
Well, I don't know if it's necessary. Like murder is wrong, but if you were killing a murderer,
oh,
who was due to be executed for the crimes that he was found guilty of.
So he saved.
We are. Remember, this is 19th century Europe. The capital
Well,
punishment
look.
is still very much in use.
I mean,
And
like,
due process is not a thing, really.
Mhm.
I mean, like, it's safe.
Well, yes and no, because this is the thing. They had a judicial system. It was actually a lot harder to find someone guilty of a crime unless you had like eyewitnesses or like a bloody knife in their hand. You know, they didn't have fingerprints technology didn't occur until the start of the 20th century. So yeah.
Let's just say it saved the city a rope. I don't know.
But yeah, I agree with Saminata. I think something is going on. It could have been a caster, but I would like to try to help your brother.
Well, he was incarcerated, so like, yeah, they must have gone. Maybe it was an inside job. When we're walking to the hotel, I wanted to say to the
Hospital.
to the hospital.
Yes. Sorry,
I'm gonna hang back and I'm gonna talk to Aminata, and I say like, look, I don't know. I think you're somebody who has like a lot of connections. I don't know. I mean, the doctor did say like this is something kind of extreme that's going on. Yeah, that's happening after the war. I mean, I've seen veterans before, but nothing quite like this. But I don't know. Do you know any doctors or anybody that might help him, or do you have any connections with anyone?
Absolutely. That is one of the perks of the job. I can definitely try and find somebody for you.
I mean, fuck's sake, if that was the hotel's view, sorry, darling. I mean, I would never leave.
Slip of the mouse. It was not, unfortunately. This is more accurate.
I was just thinking, see you, fuck me.
We could retire today.
For our podcast listeners, Neve was changing her background.
Oh yeah, beautiful sea view, like, you know, holiday. Oh wow, I'd stay there and never leave. Like, oh, I'm still mad.
For sure.
Yes, I will get in touch with my colleagues and some personal friends, and I know he's in the hospital. Shall I speak with the nurses and the doctor and see if they'll allow another physician?
That's it. Like, and I'm just like, do you know what I mean? They're fantastic. They've did what that they could, but like maybe somebody who's more specialized. I don't even know if that's. I mean, it's all really weird because, as I say, like we have veterans as well and older guards who are a bit kind of, you know, they've seen stuff, but nothing quite like. I mean, his mind seems completely shattered, and it's like I don't know what to do. I really don't. But
it's unfortunate.
They do what they can, but I don't think they know what to do. Like, I don't think anybody knows, but maybe there is somebody. I'm not really. I've never had to deal with anything like this, and I don't know. I mean, I don't have the connections like you do.
And Sylvia hear any of this, or are they kind of talking in hushed voices?
You said that you'd kind of hung back a little bit.
Yeah, we're hanging back a little bit. I just wanted to talk to her
cool.
privately for a minute.
I will definitely send out some. I'll send messages for you as soon as we get to the hospital. Should be
Yeah.
no problem. And unfortunately, this is something some of our finest healers would have, I suppose, would have received training for, because
Yeah.
my nation of Mali went to war with France, and that was not necessarily a very quick skirmish by any means. And so there would definitely be somebody who has experience with this. Don't fret, and don't think about anything else about that or the cost. This is
Oh,
I'd be
I will
happy
somehow make it
to
up.
do that. No,
That's
no, no,
you
no.
know, it's just
I would refuse your money because this is going to be a favor for me.
I haven't even known you for that long. I mean,
Mina, you are so caring, you are so loving, just you are
you
dedicated.
don't know me.
Well, you are dedicated to a fault. We have seen you go to church every single chance you get. So I can only imagine what you would do for your family, and that is something I appreciate in people. So please don't worry about it. If it's
I
something
mean,
that
like, it's not just, I mean, I'm aware that I don't think he'll ever be what he
oh,
was before, but if he could at least eat or at least be kind of maybe at least acknowledge people and talk to, so he could say if there was something specific that any of us could do.
that he needed
He's
or
not even,
anything,
he's not.
it
So,
it it this was a very traumatizing experience, and unfortunately,
yeah,
it's
even the doctor was saying, I mean, we've gone to war before, but like apparently this has been surpassing everything we've seen before.
oh,
So,
absolutely. Mina, like you know what giant killer are
I mean,
capable of. They
I've
had
been to other hospitals. I've been looking
exactly
all along the front line. I've been looking in every hospital I could find, and I mean, some of the injuries I've seen. So I was
absolutely, yeah.
prepared for much worse. I honestly, I was prepared for anything. And I mean, like, he's alive. He's physically fine as much as he can be.
Hmm.
As I say, if he at least would be able to eat himself and at least,
We
yeah, if he could at least communicate if he needs anything, that would make even caring for him so much easier for anyone. I mean, I'd be grateful if even we could get him to that point at any time down the road, like,
Well, all anyone can do right now is try to focus on the now, look after him as he
yeah,
currently is. Yes, of
yeah,
course, try and make him better, but you need to also manage your own expectations of what we could do right now. So
yeah, that's
we
true.
need
That
to
is
take
true.
it one day at a time.
Absolutely. I mean, Sylvia was saying, like, she could bless the soup they're giving him, and because he's
Oh,
lost so much weight, and that would be a great help, even if he puts back some, some meat on his bones, because he's skin and bone. That's all he is, like, at the moment.
that's we could also find somebody who could maybe also do what Sylvia intends to do, healing particular foods. I know there are meals that we've used back home that
Mm,
have been known to help those who have, somebody who might have been caught out for quite some time. They come back, they've lost a lot of weight. It will help them recharge. I will
that's
look
what he needs,
out. I
because
will
he's
look
not
through
eating
everything.
properly. So anything that helps him at the moment, you
Well,
know.
I can tell you that the fact that he's even eating a little bit, that is a very good sign.
Oh, it is, yeah. No, I'm
That
glad.
is
I,
a
I
good
don't know
sign.
how far they have to what they have to do. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Listen, look, but you'll see. I mean, so we get to the hospital, and as soon as we're there, I'm. Is it the same nurse or is it
It's
a
the
different
same. It
nurse?
is the same nurse. Yeah, it's the same nurse.
Okay, so I say like, oh wow, I say
So you all go in this time, and you
yeah,
see a very pretty, slim, blonde nurse. She's a little above average height, with a beautiful blue eyes, an olive-shaped face, light-colored skin, and a dazzling smile. And as she gets up to greet Mina, you see she moves with a graceful elegance to her, almost like somebody who's trained in dance.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Gwen, no.
That
Gwen's not
message.
even thinking about it. Gwen's just
Sylvia, do
busy
you
being creeped
set
out by Victorian
Sylvia?
Hospital.
Do you cast lesser telepathy?
No, Sylvia is at this point
or a look, I
try no. Sylvia
suppose.
is really uncomfortable. She is trying not to. She's just kind of trying to take deep breaths. This is fine.
I will say
You're not
this.
getting.
While obviously it's a military hospital, so it's bringing back certain flashbacks, one thing it's missing is the smell.
Yeah, no, but it's
Yeah.
still like she's just not happy to be in
But,
this space
yeah,
right
but
now at
one
all.
thing that is missing is the smell. And the last time you had a serious kind of flashback before the dragon was when you were making the healing tinctures and ended up having
Yeah.
to make the poultices, and that brought back the smell of the greater herbal poultices the Fey Touch nurses.
But like,
She's still not happy to be here
like
at
our
all.
characters are not aware that that happened to you, really. Like,
No, they're not. But I'm just saying for Sylvia,
yeah.
like,
But just
so
to
anyway.
to kind of separate player and character knowledge. So I'm
Yeah.
just kind of saying to people, listen, I gonna bring you up, but I'm like I'm gonna bring you to the room. You can look in, but like I don't think it would be great for a lot of people to be there.
Well, the nurse
course.
come on and he says,
I
I'm
don't want
sorry,
everybody in the room, you know.
I can't allow this many people into the room.
Oh, I won't. I won't.
No, it's fine. You
that
go
is-
ahead, Mina.
Yeah.
That
I'll
is
wait.
fine. The only reason I am here is because I have healing magics, and I am hoping that I can, if you can get him to eat, I can make the food more restorative.
So as soon as you say that, there's like a look of shock on her face, because healing magics are still kind of rare. Like, they're not completely forbidden. Like, they do exist in the world, but they are rare. So she's very excited, and she says, "Oh, that's wonderful."
I am just here to
Please,
help.
of
But
course. No, when you said that, she's
Has
very.
has he eaten already, or is he still?
We tried to give him some eggs this morning. He hasn't touched. He ate a
No.
little bit of it, but not much.
Maybe
But
a broth.
if you can give him some broth, I can make it more restorative. And then once I have done that,
And then I'll
perhaps
try
I
to
can
give
do a
it
little
to
bit
him.
more healing.
Yeah.
If you would,
Yeah, Mina, I think that is a great
So,
idea if you do it.
I will run to the kitchens and see if I can.
Thank you
prepare
so
something
much.
quickly.
Thank you so
You
much.
remember where the room is, yes, mademoiselle?
Yes, I do. And I explain to you where the room is, and I say like, if you guys want to talk to the doctor, I look at Aminata. If you want to talk to the doctor, maybe I don't know if you can find out anything.
No, I will.
I don't know. I think I was a bit too upset to really think of anything really useful to ask. To be honest.
Mina, please. Don't worry. I can handle it. I may need to just have a quick look of your brother to assess, so I can pass on the relevant knowledge if that is okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
who's going up to the
I
room?
think we can look. If you stay at the outside, just don't go in because, I think it's too many people for him. He's not.
I will
He's
stay.
not able
I'll
for it.
stay
I
in the
think.
doorway.
So Sylvia, Mina, and Aminati, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
But
I'll
I'm
wait.
not going into the room though.
Yeah, okay. So
No.
you guys go to the room. Aminati, you go. You have a look inside. It is as I described. Sylvia, you go in with Mina. As I said, it's as I described. Wrong die.
Okay.
Your brother does not recognize you. He's sitting there. He's kind of just staring off into the window. So
I'm outside the room waiting for the broth, and I just say like, see, that's basically what he did
So,
last
yeah,
night. I was sitting with him for an hour. He
as
didn't really react.
I said, Mina, I was also like this, not
Mm.
as much in that I did react to people around me, but if people were not interacting with me, I was like this. So
He
I can learn the necessary magic to restore his mind.
they were saying like they brought him in April last
Okay.
year, and he
Yeah.
hasn't really done anything. He hasn't
Well,
spoken since. Like that was the first time. Last night he spoke to me.
Well, this is good. This tells me a lot. This means that he was not there on the final day when the dragons attacked. So this is good because that day was, I can tell you, it was without question the first day of my life. So,
He's always been a gentle soul,
I understand, and
we were all surprised when he said he went into the army. Like,
my brother said exactly the same thing about me, but I am still here, and your brother is still here. So
yeah, he is at least
he
physically.
he is strong, and he is in there. And I know that when I bring him back, he's going to be so happy to see you. And I will bring him back to you. That is a promise. Okay, I will bring him back to you.
Okay, so a few minutes after this, the nurse does arrive. She's carrying a small bowl of what looks to be onion soup.
Okay, I'm going to cast nature. I cast Nature's Boon.
Yeah, so she's kind of holding it up to you as you cast the spell.
Sure.
And
do you
so some pink Barbie-like sparkly energy flutters down into the bowl, and then she hands the bowl to you, Mina.
Okay, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it very carefully.
You go.
Thank you. That will help because.
Yeah,
after this, I will try and heal him. So may I also go in, or I will keep my distance?
I will see if I can feed him, and then I'll.
So you go in.
I'll come out when I get him to eat, and so I go in and I say hello. I say, hey, Loisy, it's me. I did say I'll come back. Will you? And I sit down next to him, and is there a chair or something?
There is a chair, yeah. So
I'll move the chair because it's easier. Yeah. So I sit on the chair then, and I'm like, here, come here. Will you have some? Will you have some nice soup for me? And I'm slowly kind of trying to spoon feed him, like, here comes the play. Just didn't have anything.
No, he does eat the soup for you, okay? As you feed it to him, he does actually eat it all. And over a space of maybe 10 minutes, you feed him the entire bowl of soup.
Yeah.
Does he look better now?
He does look slightly better. There's more. His face is more flushed. It's looking less gaunt.
Bit more color, like. Okay. Yeah, but I can imagine he's literally skin and bone.
Yeah.
But he is looking better. He actually has more color in his face, and his eyes look a little bit brighter and clearer, though they're still not recognizing anything. So
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Well, you said you wanted to heal him. What particular spell were you hoping to use?
Healing word, because my thinking was if he has exhaustion damage and stuff, this is the Nature's Boon would remove it, and then it'll take the cap off his grit, and then I can heal him a little bit.
How many mana are you planning on spending?
I'll spend 4.
Okay, so you spend 4 mana, you cast a spell, and yet again, he looks to be looking slightly better. His skin is looking a bit better. Okay,
that was only 6.
But yeah, his complexion is greatly improved. His skin isn't looking as dry and tight across his flesh and bone. But apart from that, there is no other change. Okay. So,
would you just excuse me for a moment? I'm going to just step outside.
Yeah, sure.
Sylvia is just going to step outside. She's gonna walk a little ways till she's away from people, and then she's gonna fucking turn a corner, and just kind of
to the front.
Just kind of try to breathe and get a breath, and she's leaning against the wall. Just
Gwyn is
get it together. Get it together. Stop it. Do not do this right now. You are going to calm the fuck down and go back to your friends. So there's this whole thing just going. Yeah.
Well, nobody else is seeing this because you're up on a kind of the landing
Yeah.
corridor section.
Uh-huh.
But you do.
But
Have
there is
actually-
no smell of any healing poultices or
No.
things like at the moment in the
There's
hospital.
a
Like,
smell of like soap.
okay, cool.
So
But, you know, Sylvia has just gone in and saw somebody
Yeah.
in the state that she was in after the war and
Yeah.
is not coping at
Yeah.
all.
so,
So that's what's going on.
Aminati, if you go back down to Gwyn, you do after a few minutes see a man walking towards the two of you, and he sees you. He kind of walks up to you. Above average
Good day.
height, lean build, dark hair, slightly graying eyes. It's the doctor, okay? As I described before. And he says, "Bonjour, mademoiselle. May I help you?"
Bonjour. We are waiting with our friend whose brother's here.
Oh, is this the Swiss lady?
Yes,
Ah,
Mina and her brother Alois.
yes. It's wonderful that we now have the name of the young man.
Can I ask, what does this mean for his stay in the hospital now? That he has a family member?
It means nothing. He is still unwell.
Okay,
He is still
good.
sick. So until he is recovered, he stays here.
Excellent.
This
Okay.
is a
That's
military
good to
hospital.
know.
He was a soldier in the French army.
Excellent. Okay, good. I'm
And
glad you're going to take care of him.
Of course.
I assume that you are the young man's doctor.
I am Dr. Fournier, yes.
Oh, doctor. Okay.
Young one. He's older than you.
No, she talks about my brother.
The
Like,
brother, young man's doctor.
Yeah. So,
Oh, sorry. I thought you said young one, and I was like,
yeah, that's what
no.
I first thought. Like,
Um,
oh yeah, that's what she means. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
No,
so, yeah.
go ahead.
Well, Doctor, Mina has asked me to see if there's any other healers that might be available to assist, and if it is all right with you, I'd like to potentially call in some healers that I know of who may be able to help you with Aloise, as well as maybe some of the other patients that are in the hospital.
Other doctors?
Yes, they are doctors.
Oh, but I mean, I don't necessarily. I mean, is there something specific about them that would make them better suited to help the patients than the care they've been getting?
Well, it's not that. Apologies. I'm not meaning to imply that the care you've been giving has been bad or anything. It's just Mina has asked if there's anything I can do to further, I suppose, hasten the recovery of her brother. And I do know that there are some doctors, military doctors in my native land who are quite familiar with the, I suppose, the aftermath of horrendous war, and I'm just hoping they may be able to help, and if they can, leave you with any knowledge that they have to aid you as well in future recovery of other patients.
Give me an awareness roll.
Ori?
Ooh, ooh. Professional right now, like ooh.
Keen eyes or no?
Yeah, sure.
That is a 19.
So you can tell that he is not appreciating your suggestions. Isn't liking this at all. But he does say, it's like, well, we are always eager to receive any help that we can from other doctors. So do you have any idea of the time frame in which this would occur? You said from your land. I assume they would be traveling, so
Oh, they'd be able to travel quite promptly. They have their own means.
okay. Yes. If you could give me an estimate of when you expect them to arrive, we can arrange for them to see the young man.
Okay. If you give me 10 minutes, I'll get back to you with that time frame.
D'accord.
With that, Aminata is going to turn on her heels and just kind of walk out of eyesight and pull out an arcanogram.
Okay.
The rich bitch, of
Oh.
course, would have one.
You have an arcanogram. Amazing.
You're
Okay.
not there. You don't see it.
You don't know.
Yeah,
Nobody
no,
knows.
I know.
I mean, she has a fucking family home in Paris, like, you know. Oh, to be
Listen,
rich.
I am going to milk my privileges right now.
So, who are you writing this letter to?
So I'm going to write a letter to a family member who also happens to be a druid back home in Mali. And they would have ties within the government and also would know military people, including doctors. So I'm going to write to them to ask if they can send aid for a few delicate cases, and we need to keep this very under wraps.
Okay.
Okay. You don't get a reply immediately. It's maybe like a few minutes later you get a short reply back saying
Why
that,
don't we fly him to your
that they
country and then they can freeze him like in Wakanda, like, do you know? Will they find something to heal his mind?
Vibranium.
as I said, you get a reply a few minutes later, not immediately, saying that they will make inquiries and they'll let you know when they get an answer. They can't make any promises though, but they'll see what they can do. Okay.
Oh my god, it's even the left arm!
I just need 2 levels and I can do it.
Oh yeah, no, you're right, you're fine.
So,
Well, Mina asked me for a favor, so I'm not gonna just say no. Susie's gonna get this in a couple more levels. Just hold on a sec.
So, right, as I said, Mina, you do spend some time with your brother. You are feeling a lot. You do think he seems to be doing a lot better after this. And eventually, you know, the nurses are saying like we should.
Yeah, I need to leave. So that's what I'll do. I'll give him another case. I'll say, like, I'll come back tomorrow, okay, I promise. And then I'll go out and collect my friends, and then I say, like, I have to find a post office because I have to send a letter. And
I didn't go very far when I went to have my little fucking.
I assumed.
Did you make it down to the reception?
I assumed that you had a meltdown on the landing and then went downstairs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's basically.
You're at the reception right now, are you? Okay, cool.
So Gwen, Aminata, and Sylvia are all down at the front.
I'm just gonna check in on Sylvia when I see her coming back with everybody else and just ask, "Are you okay? Did it happen again?"
Did what happen?
You know actually, never mind. No,
Did I kind of go away? No, I didn't go away. I'm very much here. I just No, I didn't go away again. I know what happened was. Okay. So I suppose I will say that seeing him in that state, because it was the state that I was in, so not as bad, but I was in that state. It was hard for me. But you know, I was there to do what I said I would. So I did what I could to try to make him more comfortable, and then I left.
That's great. That's great. I'm sure Mina really appreciates that.
Well, I wasn't able to restore him. As I said, I can't do that. But I know that the spell exists. I need to.
I mean, most things are possible with magic.
I need time or something, but I know that the spell is out there.
Of course. I know too. It just will take us time.
I'm not strong enough, and
not yet. You will be.
Well, you know, it would have been useful for me to be. Never mind. I'm not going to have that conversation. But yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Well, I'm just glad you're okay. This must be really hard.
It's not my idea of a fun day out.
No, of course. I know. This is really hard for everyone. I understand.
Especially Mina. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. Mina has found her brother and he is a shell.
I cannot imagine what she's going through. If it was one of my cousins that I grew up with, I would be.
Yeah, no, and so here you are asking me if I'm okay. I'm standing here talking to you. I am fine. Mina is the one who needs support right now.
Yeah.
So eventually Mina does come down to you all, and just as you are Just as you are leaving, you do see like as you're exiting I keep saying hotel, the hospital. You see a man entering the hospital. Looks to be in his late 30s, tall, attractive with like curly auburn hair, a really well kept beard, bright blue eyes, a slightly tan complexion, and even like very well dressed in like tan and light brown like 3-piece suit with this lovely gentleman's cane that he has with a crystal sphere on the top and engravings running down as he just sees you all and gives a nod of his head,
Druid.
a tap of his hat. No, it's a gentleman's cane.
It's a gentleman's cane.
Yes,
Sorry.
a nod of his head and a tap of his hat as he just.
Is he wearing a top hat? Like.
He's wearing. What was it? I think had bowler hats been
Bowler,
I think he had bowler hats that were starting
Bowler
to
hat.
come out.
Okay, yeah.
So he's got one of he's got a bowler hat. Like most men, most people in this time period wore hats, especially men.
Yeah.
Labourers would have worn flat caps and the likes. The wealthier in society would have been wearing things like bowler hats or maybe top hats, depending on their clothing. It wasn't actually very common for people to go around with their heads not covered, especially men, and women of certain levels of society, you know. So anyway, and as he's going in, you hear the sound of the doctor greeting. He's like, "Oh, bonjour, it's good to see you." He's like, "Oh, it's good to see you too." It's like these two guys clearly know each other. As you guys are walking out of the hospital, and literally just as you're stepping out onto the street, Gwyn, you see forming in the air in front of you, shimmering silvery.
Amazing. She has it as well. Okay.
Or at least has a messenger pen. That's also good.
Dear Gwyn, hold on, let me just I need to check this again. Yes, dear Gwyn, hope you are well. Inquiring if you are interested in the Fate Mound.
Yeah, there's too many words. There's no way.
Party soon.
I will. Yeah.
Josephine.
She's powerful. Okay.
That's she is.
Yeah.
How many words were that?
That was over 20 words.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
She's a boss. I will turn to Sylvia, who is there with me. I'll turn to Sylvia, who's there with me. Oh, we're all there.
Because the way the Moonlit Script spell works is, it's literally, it looks like somebody is writing a letter in moonlight, in silvery moonlight, in front of the target, but it's floating in the air for just for long, like not indefinitely, just for a few moments, so that the spell target can read the message and then it disappears. But anybody standing beside them or near them,
you can see the message.
You'll see the message and can read it too.
Okay, perfect. So I'll turn to the party and say, well, what do we think, Mina? It's completely up to you.
It's really sour.
But I do think we should take her up on this offer. Who knows what's in that mound? If nothing else, gold.
We need the gold, and maybe we could find, like she said, she is in charge, interested in magical items. Maybe we could find a potion. I don't know if a potion would count as a magical item.
I mean, it would be a huge coincidence if we found the right thing, but some money would be good, all right. Yeah,
you should take
Nothing else that can get him home, you know.
So
exactly.
Just as a reminder as well, like it's literally it's like a day's travel. It's like 6 or 7 hours on train from Cambrai to Paris. They're quite close.
I mean,
I'm down.
Yeah, I think.
Mina, it's up to you. I understand.
I want to go visit him tomorrow as well. If we can go down after that.
I think if you visit him and then maybe if we could go and then come back.
It's early in the morning now, isn't it, Neil?
It's like 11.
It's like midday.
12.
It's because
it's 12.
The hospital for 11.
For 11, yeah.
It's
so
about half.
I spent quite a bit with him now.
So it's about half.
And Mina, I completely understand, and I'm so sorry that this is the way we found your brother. But I do think maybe considering that we are under time pressure with Dubois, it could be worth considering going today.
Well, see, I need to write a letter in case something happens to me.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you
They
write a
need to
letter?
know where I am, and
Do
yeah,
that
there's other
before.
things I kind of need to. I kind of need to clear my mind. I wouldn't be able to go into anywhere right now.
Mina, go and write the letter. I will get you a drink. I will bring you the letter. I will bring you the drink while you write, and you can take a breath, and we will decide together. And I think, I will go with whatever you decide, because I know this must be so
And
hard.
I promised him I'm gonna come back tomorrow. So
Okay.
if I could
Okay.
just
Yeah.
And
at least
then
feed him some more breakfast and then go.
I will do it again. Okay, I will cast the spell and give him the healing magic before
It
he leaves.
really he seemed to help. Like his color improved. He was
Okay.
very grey in complexion. So
So
Okay.
what exactly? So what's the plan? Is the plan to get like a relatively early train tomorrow, or
yeah.
Yeah, I think the plan is Mina's gonna go see him. We're gonna try. Well, she's gonna write the letter. Then tomorrow we maybe stop by the hospital
Yeah.
and I do a bit of healing, and we try and get an early-ish train.
I will go back in and I say to the nurse, listen, I'll be here tomorrow a bit earlier. I'll feed him breakfast.
D'accord? Yes, that's perfect.
And then I have some business in Paris, but I will be back.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Right.
After the Fameland, we will figure out what to do next.
We will.
But Mina, take some time, okay? I know
Yeah.
that you are going to need time.
I will see if there's a cab somewhere, a handsome cab, so I
Well,
can get
this is
to the
small.
post office.
This is a
Yeah, but I
small
don't know where the post office is. Like,
Oh, you can just ask a street urchin for directions.
oh, fair enough. Then I asked the street urchin for.
The outside.
So if viewers can't see this, Neve has changed her background again. It's
There's
Yeah,
like
nice.
a cityscape.
Outside.
You know what? I was
cityscape.
actually looking for like a Parisian fantasy background. They all had the Eiffel Tower,
No.
and I was like, I wonder when that was
Oh,
built. And it was
that
actually
was-
built.
it wasn't
10
built
years.
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it's like
wasn't
1888 or
built
something like
yet.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
World's
Which
Trade
was a
World
whole
Fair.
there's a whole like internet thing about freaking out about
In the-
Beauty and the Beast, because when they're singing "Be Our Guest," they have the Eiffel Tower. It's like, it wasn't built yet.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. No.
Anywho,
Well, I did my research.
so we will. I think
You girl.
so. That's the plan for today. Mina, you with Eve.
Yeah, I'm going
go
to the post
office.
office and just briefly, I mean, I don't even telegraph style, just tell my brothers that I found him, briefly let them know what the situation is, that he's in the hospital.
Do you
and,
write
yeah.
a letter to your parents as well to tell them?
No, I just write to my brother. I'm
Okay.
too scared to write a letter to my parents.
Okay, right. So you write a letter to your brother to tell him that you have found Eloise in a hospital in the north of France. Do you go into detail about his condition?
Just briefly explain, like, yeah, that he's lost an arm, he's otherwise fine, but his mind seems shattered. So, yeah, he's not responding. Like, and very briefly, like, as I say, kind of telegraph style, just so they know where he is. Yeah, if something happens to me.
And
Yeah,
Gwen,
and then
do you send a message to Justine to tell her the party is planning on going to Paris tomorrow?
Yes, and I will say our base here is Hotel de Ville if she is looking for us in the meantime.
Okay. Do you give the address of Aminada's family home in Paris as well?
we just say we're at Aminata's. The guys know each other. I'm sure she knows where Aminata lives. Like,
I might give her the address just in case.
Okay. Great.
yeah.
Okay. Cool. So
After that, while I'm in the post office. Now I want to say hospital. What's wrong with me? When I mean hotel, when I mean hospital, I say hotel. When I mean post office, I want to say hospital. Like, honestly, my mind is all over the place. I'm in the post office. I ask if there's some dive bar anywhere in the city, if there's some kind of shady kind of
Oh, Mina.
bar I could go
okay.
to.
This is going to be a persuasion roll because they're
Okay.
wondering why a relatively well-dressed woman would be looking for such things.
I am also
This is
wondering,
shocking.
inquiring minds want to know, Mina, what are you doing?
Gwyn is shocked.
Okay. Yeah, well, you're not there.
Okay. Well, she would be if she could hear
That was
Mina utter
a-
such words.
And what's my what's that?
Charm, persuasion.
Oh no, I don't have everything. That's a pure 10.
Do you want to use your inspiration die?
Yes.
Seeing as we're going to be finished in like a minute.
Yes.
Yeah, fucking do it. Do it.
14.
Okay, they look at you a bit.
I know what place to avoid.
They look at you a bit funny, but they give you the name of one or two of the more slightly more disreputable places where more disreputable people might go to drink.
Cool.
Okay.
Suspicious.
So, does anybody have anything else that they wish to do?
No. Sylvia's just going to be rereading her brother's letter because, you know, her brother is fine and she has, like, confirmed that he doesn't hate her. And the whole thing with Mina's brother is just like, oh, Jesus Christ. So she is not okay at all. So she is just rereading that letter and just being like, oh my God.
Okay.
While, you know, totally
Right.
composed. Fine.
So then, with the party planning on returning to the hospital in the morning and then getting on the train back to Paris to, it would seem, do a job for their...
Yeah, but first Mina's planned to go to a dive bar.
Yes. Oh, you are going to a dive bar this evening?
Yeah.
So, with...
This afternoon even.
Are you going to tell the rest of us, or are you going
No.
on your own?
So,
Mina.
Mina, having told the party she was going to write letters to her family, disappears. Planning on going off to a dive bar with the party, planning on going to Paris in the morning after visiting her brother.
Could I? No, I'm not gonna follow Mina.
Maybe.
No, you
Ring.
can't, because you never said that you were
Ring.
looking for Mina. She said she was going to the post office and no one followed her. So no, you can't.
Okay.
You can't look for her because you have no reason to look for her. Unless several hours later you could, but you've no idea where she is.
Fair.
So,
Okay.
So
That's fine.
we shall finish there for tonight. Thank you all for joining us. Next week should be interesting. We will be having Mina going on a bender, and then the party probably traveling to Paris to explore a Fey Mound.
Go Gwen!
What could possibly go wrong? So
Oh.
I assume Gwen
Hangovers
have,
and
like,
fairy shots.
yes, thank you all for joining us.
fairy shots if we're fucking lucky.
Ooh, if we're lucky.
I remember what happened in the Fairy Mountain Campaign 1.
I still have
Fuck me.
flashbacks.
We shall see you all
Cave in.
next week. Same bad time, same
Oh.
bad channel. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
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 Bye.